blessed by God's grace, and we're going to continue from where we left off. So this afternoon we are talking about God in Africa before the missionaries, and you all know how and even up to today people still think that Africans were pagans, did not know God, and until the missionaries came. There's a book written by an African preacher, African American preacher, black preacher, who suggested that God punished black folks, Africans, with slavery because we worship idols. All kinds of stuff said about African people, the reason why we are suffering and all these things, we are under some judgment of God and all of these things because we were pagans and did not know God. And so we need to know the truth about this subject. Did God know Africa? These are the questions we are raising to answer today. Did Africa know God? Did God know Africa? Did the missionaries bring the knowledge of God to Africa? And can we find God in our heritage? And does Africa, do Africans have a role in the end time global mission? God in Africa. Roots are important because without roots there can be no what? And if they mess with your roots, they will mess with your what? All right. So if all you know about your roots is a bunch of naked people bouncing from tree to tree, then not only would you question your identity, but also be ashamed of who you are. No wonder some of us can't find ourselves. We don't want to accept who we are. But there's a statement in the book by Chancellor Williams, the book, The Destruction of Black Civilization. And there's quote, "What became of the black people of Sumer?" The traveler asked the old man. For ancient records show that the people of Sumer were black. What happened to them? The old man sighed. They lost their history, so they died. A tree without roots cannot bear fruit. And if we lose our connection to our history, our heritage, our roots, then we don't have a future. And so we need to know our roots, where we come from, and how our folks have interacted with God. So when we talk about Africa, God in Africa, what are we talking about? Is Africa really in the Bible? Well, the name Africa is not in the Bible. And that trips some people because they read the Bible, they don't see Africa in the Bible. The word, the name, the label Africa in the Bible, so they think, well, if Africa is not in the Bible, the name is not there, then obviously maybe God didn't even deal with African people. That's the conclusion they draw, but it's a wrong conclusion because though the name Africa is not in the Bible, the Bible has its own name in referring to African people. Are we together? All right. So what we call Africa, this continent we call Africa, we may not see the name in the Bible, but did God really interact with people on this continent we call Africa? Is that a legitimate question? All right. So let's find that out. The Bible doesn't use the name Africa. The Bible uses the name for Africa, the land of Ham. And it's in Psalm 105 verse 23 and other parts of scripture where the Bible calls it the tabernacles of Ham, the dwelling places of Ham. This land we call Africa, the land of Ham. Why land of Ham? Because after the flood, when you read the Bible, after the flood, you had 3 sons of Noah. After the flood, remember, everybody is gone, everybody is dead, and now we have only 8 people of one family: Noah, his wife, 3 sons and their wives. 8 people. And of the 8 people, we all, black, white, everybody, today we all trace our roots back to the 3 sons of Noah. And after the flood, the 3 sons of Noah, 2 of them came. See, this is Turkey. The flood rested over here. Mount Ararat is over here, Turkey. Mount Ararat, Turkey over here. And after the flood, the 2 sons of Noah migrated south, which will be Mesopotamia, where we have Iraq, Iran, and all of that. Yeah, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and all of that over here. And then the sons of Ham settled on the continent we call Africa. They came southwest, south of Turkey, west is Africa, east is Mesopotamia. And the 2 sons of Ham, Shem and Ham, came south. You realize that the Bible described Abraham as Abraham dwelling in the of the Chaldeans. Remember? You heard that before? Yeah, think about this. The is a capital city. You are of the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans are the Cushites people. Chaldea, Sumeria, Chaldeans, Arcadia, Babylonia. All these are related to Cushites, relating to Ham. So Ham's descendants came south, live in Mesopotamia, and some spread over here into Africa. Mizraim, 4 sons of Ham. Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan. 4 sons of Ham. Now, Cush settled in what we call in Africa today as Ethiopia. By the way, Cush is the Hebrew name of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the same as Cush. Ethiopia is Greek. And Cush is Hebrew, but the same person. Do you get the point? Yes. Yeah, it's one person with 2 names, and one name is Hebrew and one name is Greek. That's all. So Cush and Ethiopia is talking about the same person. And then you have the other son is Mizraim. Mizraim is also Hebrew, of the same person we call Egypt. Or the same people we call Egyptians. So Egyptians, Mizraim is the Hebrew name of Egyptians. All right, and then you have another son called Phut. You see it as sometimes spelled as Put, P-U-T, but it's actually P-H-U-T. It's Phut, and that is the son that settled in Libya. So you have one son in Egypt, another one in Ethiopia, and in those days they didn't have all the borders and all that. So Ethiopia, Egypt, and then Libya. Simon of Cyrene, from where? Libya. So the sons of Ham, there were 4 children. 3 of them, Cush, Mizraim, Phut, settled on the continent of Africa. Cush, Ethiopia, Mizraim, Egypt, and Phut, Libya. They settled on Africa. So the Bible calls that land the land of Ham because Ham's children settled on it. So the Bible says Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned, traveled through the land of Ham, because Ham's children have settled there. That's where they settled. All right, and it's the same place. This morning I was telling you something. It was the same place. See, over here, Egypt, and Moses. Remember that is in Egypt was where Moses. Remember Moses killed somebody. He wanted to save them, but it was a bad way of saving people, like killing people to save them. And he ran away as a fugitive, and he went to a place called, the Bible calls it Midian. Sometimes when the Bible, you hear Bible names and you don't connect them to the geography, your mind is like wandering all over the place. No, Midian is this place over here. Midian, where he went to, was still part of Africa. I mean, think about this. Moses didn't have a horse, didn't have a car, they didn't hitchhike. He didn't ride a train or plane, or he walked. I don't know, to the corner over there. He was here, they chased him, and he went to the corner. They went to another part of Africa, the same Africa, but another part. The Bible calls it Midian. And Midian is where you have Mount Sinai. Right here, this place. This place is where you have Mount Sinai. Mount Sinai is located on the continent of Africa, in Sinai Peninsula. Go home and check your map. Sinai Peninsula. Mount Sinai is right there. And that's where God manifested himself. You remember the burning bush? Yeah, Moses was taking care of his father-in-law's sheep, Jethro's sheep, and he was at the backside of the mountain, and he saw a fire, and he ran towards the fire, and the voice from the fire, from the bush, spoke to him, Moses, take off your shoes from off your feet. No. First of all, he said, do not rush over here. Take off the shoe off your feet, for the place where you stand is what? Holy ground. Yeah, that was on the continent of Africa. It was on the continent of Africa, right here. Now we talk about Ten Commandments. We've preached about Ten Commandments for donkey years. But we never located, show the location of the Ten Commandments for the people to know and get connected to, where these things took place in the Bible. And they took place in Africa. Who said Africa did not have any connection to God? Yeah, can you imagine that God manifested his glory in the burning bush on the continent of Africa? So when I tell folks, I say, you know what, that tells me that because that's the same place where the commandments were given, and it was written on the tablets of stone, remember? Yeah, so the bush that burned with fire and not consumed was an African bush. And we can claim our bush. We will come to claim our bush. Give me back my bush. And the tablets of stones on which the commandments were written were African tablets, because they came from African mountain. Give me back my tablets. And the ground that was holy, that Moses was to take off his shoes for, where he stood was holy ground. Guess what? African ground. That's it, right here, Africa. That's where these things took place. And then think about this. Say Africa did not know God. Can you imagine God manifesting himself on the continent of Africa, telling Moses to go to the king of Africa to let Israel go, and Africans would not hear anything about this God? I mean, does it really make sense that we accept some things uncritically? That, oh yeah, Africa was pagan, didn't know God. No. God impacted the glory of God, the knowledge of God revealed in the burning bush, impacted the Africans so much that when Israelites were leaving Egypt to go to Canaan, there were so many Africans that joined the Israelites to go and worship Yahweh. In the Bible, you remember the group, the mixed multitude. Who do you think they were? Mixed multitude. Where did they come from? From China? My goodness. Can you imagine? No, sir. Can you imagine? We're talking Egypt. We're talking Africa. We're talking African people interacting with Israelites, and God called Israelites out, and the Africans said, we will join you to worship Yahweh. And became part of the children of Israel, because they intermarried with them and they became one with them. So I can declare to you, and I have testimony to share with you, that the Israelites and the Africans somehow have mixed up in history. So you may be carrying Israel gene in your blood, and the Israelite may be carrying African gene in your blood. That's how it was, because you had mixed multitude. There were so many that the Bible didn't take the time to number them. That's how many they were mixed with the Israelites.